Kevin, if you'd like to come up, speak to us.
Yes, it's that earlier. They emailed it, and then this. Sorry.
No problem.
Very similar, it's just like one little update, because it was like 20 days ago.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Mike, for the recording?
Yep.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I'm Kevin from New Wave Energy, actually a town resident, so I'm happy to be here. Handling this account, after a long time, New Wave Energy has serviced the town for about 10 years already. So what I'll do is I'll just go through this first page and then I'll address each attachment. If that sounds all right.
Okay.
So I'll just kind of go over this synopsis. The purpose of me coming is just to update the agreement in place with the town. Like I said, it's been 10 years. So we wanted to provide some recent data and add some accounts that fell off over the years as well. I think when the town moved over, there were some NICEAG accounts from the old location. So it was a good time to update everything, provide some good data, provide some updates in the energy markets in general. A lot has happened, so we recommend not doing much right now. You're on a custom variable rate through our municipal energy program. And your rate code is pretty advantageous. We line it up so to ensure you're lower than NICEAG's rate month over month. And it's been working, which we'll show on the pages, following pages. So we are forecasting a pretty stable market as well. And then we meaning the town, has the option to fix your rate at any time. If we forecast, turbulence in the energy markets, you could fix your rate and avoid those swings. So it's a good place to be. Operationally, we don't recommend changing too much right now, just kind of updating the agreement. So I have some cost savings on the back pages as well, and community solar, we recommend doing community solar. I read in some minutes from like a few weeks ago. Is the town already engaged in community solar? We recommend doing it, that's all. I won't get into it if you're doing it already.
We had an RFP that unfortunately New Wave did not participate in.
Yeah.
And so we did select a community solar provider.
I looked over, it looked really good, because 10% is actually fleeting, 10% is harder to get now. It's gonna be 5% a lot in the future. So, what I will say is that this supply rate is not affected at all by that. You can use both tools, which is cool in New York. So I recommend doing both, getting a custom rate and then doing, getting the enrollment for community solar. So that seems to be what the town is doing, which is good. And yeah, so I'll go, the next page is just our municipal energy management program, which you're already participating in. Third page is a daily market report. Just wanted to highlight 2024 and 2025. This is a stable energy market. Those ebbs and flows are typical. Price goes up in the winter and summer months. So again, that's why we recommend just having a custom variable rate for this market, this outlook. I'm on this page. I wanted to show you this pie graph because that is that's a spot look at, that's today's fuel mix for what we use to create electricity in New York. So the state's got pretty aggressive goals. So we're gonna have to turn those red and orange, those are natural gas mostly, that's what's gonna have to turn into renewables of some kind. So wanted to share that while I had you. Okay, then the 4th out of 5 pages are just our savings report from the past, I think, 12 months. So we had 18% savings looking back. And then looking forward, we anticipate the same thing, about 20% savings compared to the utility rates for electrical. So I think that's everything. Just wanted to get everything updated and introduce myself. That's the purpose of this. Yeah. Answer any questions too, if I can.
I guess real quick, how does community solar interact with if we're doing community solar through a different entity.
Yeah.
That just that'd be reflected in your bill to the town, is that,
Do you know if it's a consolidated bill for the community solar RFP?
So I don't know what I mean by consolidated bill, but it would be a credit on the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's, it doesn't change anything. That's a good thing about community solar is that the credit goes on the bill. And then our price for your wholesale energy is just as it is on the back of that same NICEAG bill. They're complementary products. So it's pretty popular in New York. So to answer the question, nothing really changes.
we just get that, we'll see that credit on our bill.
It'll take some
Okay.
time, but yeah. I actually head up the department and I missed the RFP, clearly, that's my fault, but. That deal was probably better than what I would have brought the town though.
do you know Jason Kulishevsky from UBRI? Might be good to get in touch with him because he's the Clean Energy Community Coordinator for the area. And actually for NICEAG, municipalities have been having difficulty getting companies to participate in the,
NICEAG. Yeah, we're seeing that statewide, yeah. Okay.
so. Yeah, but it'd be good for you to connect with them. Yeah, the only thing I would say is how are the municipal rates set then? Are they different than is there some sort of competitive or do you just pick it or how does that work?
We just watch it very closely for municipalities and that's all I do is manage municipalities. So, it's a very competitive rate on our back end. It's not like a public rate. It's very customized. We sharpen our pencil for public customers.
So what you're doing is you're getting energy from various sources and you're looking at their rates and then you pass it on with some sort of percentage uptick to us. right?
Yeah, our adder's just smaller than the utilities and competitors. But yeah.
And, you know, we have the option of going to a fixed rate.
Sure.
Are those rates pretty volatile or are they really pretty steady?
So they're forecasting steadier than they were. They can be volatile. And one event can change that pretty quickly too.
Well, give me like the past 2-year, 3-year history. I mean, has
It's
it been?
3 years volatile, the past 2 years steady again because we kind of raced to get a lot of natural.
You know, it
gas.
seems like there's a
So,
lot of, you know,
yeah.
now there's solar competing in everything and so on. It seems like it would be, I could see where it would be pretty up and down.
Yes, New York is actually less volatile than other states we're in. Meaning like the PJM market in Ohio, it's a lot more expensive in Ohio and PA actually. We're pretty diversified in our sources, so we don't see the swings as much as some of the other states, but we did in like 2021, 2022. There's no avoiding that, so. But I think pricing out fixed rates is always a good idea.
And maybe some of that was part of just getting after the pandemic and getting things straightened
Yeah,
out
perfect
possibly.
storm, as they say,
Yeah,
and then it was natural gas wars.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And what was the swing, if you recall, if you can give me just your best recollection of the 21, 22, how high did it go? And is this capped at all for the municipality? In other words, if it goes up more than 5%,
Right.
there's a credit or something.
So there's a lot of variability in which some rates were higher than others in different zones. Like there's a lot of variability, but it was 3 times as high as it was like forecasting now. So it was like over 10 cents, 12 cents, 13 cents wholesale, you know, so there was like 20-cent spikes. But that was 1 or 2 months.
All right.
That's why, yeah, fixed rates are budget friendly as well.
Thank you.
I'm the new guy up here and it's probably obvious to everybody else, but this is just electric or is this
Yes,
also
it's just electric.
just the electric?
The natural gas is with a similar entity, just not with New Wave,
Just not with New
Yeah.
Wave? Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Is it?
Happy to answer anything. if
Is it?
You know,
I think we have to, yeah, we have some information out just to be transparent with the community aggregate program.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you'll be competing with, I guess, as we move forward and, but happy to continue. I know with that, we can't use the community solar campaign, so that's a leg
I
up
think
for
so.
you.
Yeah.
To remain
Yeah.
with New Age or New Wave, sorry.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it looks good. We'll be
Sure.
in communication, yeah.
product's the same, like we're proposing the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't think with them you can fix your rate at any time.
Yeah.
So the fixed rate wouldn't be if I had to put a salesperson.
Yeah.
That's-
So there's
that's
also a
part of that too.
there's also a potential third party as well.
Sorry, for what?
There's also a potential third party that will,
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Due
Oh,
diligence.
good, yep.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, I come from business. Virtually everything we need to have 3 bids,
Yeah.
so makes sense.
All right,
But I think, you know, from that, we've been happy thus far, so no complaints there that I can think of, and
thanks, yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Yep. Thank you.
I'll follow up after this.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the work session is the Open Space Committee. Maybe Ray could bring us up to date on just
Yeah,
what's happening in
we're pretty
Hubbard
much,
Park.
yeah, we're pretty much gonna table any of the discussion at this point, but we went to get signs made. And apparently some of the verbiage on the signs is maybe not right for what we wanted to do. So what we felt we would do is bring, you know, and determine exactly how many people from the board are necessary, but also the conservancy as to what the land match restrictions should be, going back to when portions of Major Park were matched in order to purchase
Owens Falls.
Owens Falls. Okay, back in 2016. Apparently, some people on the Open Space Committee believe that we should ban little animals that bark. And the language of the local law still allows for those little barking animals. So what we need to do is a meeting of the minds to determine exactly what is appropriate before we go further. So we're meeting tomorrow, and then we're gonna set up a discussion. So if anyone wants to be a part of that, let me know, and then we'll decide what the appropriate thing is.
Is that at all a Richard question to look into?
Yeah, I
Okay.
would think, yeah.
I think, separate from that, Chuck and I have actually been working on an update to the local law about our town code about parks. So in addition to this conversation, I think it'll be in front of the code committee and the board and whoever.
Sure.
And if there are those decisions to be made, we can use that channel as well. Because our parks chapter hasn't been updated since 1847, perhaps,
Yeah.
so.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So we'll have to do those two procedures in parallel.
That was a good year for parks.
It was.
Sure was. Yeah, get their recommendations, Ray,
Okay.
and bring that to the board and we'll go to the.
All right.
We'll take it from there.
We'll take it from there is right. All right,
Thank you, Ray.
you bet.
Put it on the record that Ray Rosin does not like dogs.
Or
Just-
any animal.
Just
Things
one
at
that
park,
scratches
yes,
me
yes,
daily.
things at park. Next on the agenda is the Main Street Library paving. Dave, would you like to give us a little bit of information about
This
that?
is, we talked about with the agreement we had with Town of Tonawanda with the sweeper, they were gonna pave, mill and pave our library parking lot for the cost of the trade with the paving of roads. So what I put together is the Erie County bid for this year, and the low quote is County Line Stone. And we do need to approve that because it's a general fund, so just want to have the go ahead. And again, it's an estimate, I think, of around $9,000.
Yep.
Should be pretty close, but you know, we'll know better when we do it.
Sure. When do you plan on doing that? Dave?
September.
Not till September.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
could change the
Well,
price.
yeah, there's an asphalt escalator in there,
Yep.
as you can see.
Yep.
So you're approving the bid rate,
Yes.
but the price would always,
change slightly.
it's still, you don't have to rebid it. It's just
Right.
with the asphalt
Yep.
index.
Yeah.
Hopefully it goes down.
Hopefully it goes down.
It has been surprising us actually, so you just never know. Or it could be double.
Looks like they did a great job. Well, you and them together did a great job.
Yeah, they did a really good job for us. They saved us about $20,000 on the Olden Road project. So you know, coupled with this, probably 10, 15,000, especially with it being milled. So I think it's a really great opportunity for the community. And if you go over there and look, it's in pretty rough shape. We actually got the DEC over there changing all the monitoring wells right now because there's no sense paving until those are all built up to snuff. So should be really nice in case you're over there and see all the rip up part. That's to prepare for us to pave.
Any other questions for Dave? Thank you, Dave. Next on the agenda is the revised agenda. This is a proposal to eliminate the work session, and you have a copy of it in front of you. It will eliminate us discussing things and then going into the main part of the meeting and discussing them again and having motions that should make our meetings go a little bit smoother. As you can see, you know, in our sample here, we have the pledge, then public hearings, if there are any, the consent agenda, which would be where we approve whatever those items would be with one motion. And if someone chooses to pull something out of that, then they can certainly do so. Okay. Understand that, everyone?
And is it one vote can pull it out or two votes? How does it work?
I was under the impression that if one person had a question about
I think it's one,
any
yeah.
given item, that would get,
Yeah.
that would get pulled out and
So anyone,
then under a separate vote.
Yep.
Okay,
Got it.
and then, you know, we would move on to unfinished business, which any of these under unfinished business or new business could be approved, declined, or tabled. But we'll just bring it up once and move on. Yes,
Question, if, right now during the work session, if we want to add something last minute to the agenda and, you know, the council members all believe that's a good idea, what would be the protocol then if we eliminated just the work session portion?
I would say that would be under new business, so when the, correct me if I'm wrong here, when we come to new business, say, I'd like to make a motion to add, you know,
Something-
6L, whatever the case may be, and we'll make that a motion and approve it.
Okay, great.
And,
I think it
Just add it to
streamlines
the-
it and it's, yeah, that's all.
yeah, I think it'll make it a little bit easier, and I want to thank you all for going along with this, because it makes my job a little bit easier. I can flip that page once.
There you go.
No, that makes sense. Really does.
Okay, sound good?
And it's passed the Bridget Baloney test already?
Yes? She's all for it.
no, I think it's great because
That's my question for everything.
Yeah.
Well, it pulls everything together. You have the discussion. Wow. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, while you're discussing
Yeah,
it,
so
vote on it right.
even
then
for
and
the audience, it's got to be more straightforward.
there. Sure.
Sure.
Good?
Good.
Next on the agenda is the guidelines for permits for the soccer fields and the polo fields. I just have one thing that I would like to bring up right in the beginning, which is the crossing guards. In the events cost sheet, it states crossing guards should be police. That was kind of half question, half statement. I've spoke to Shane, I've spoke to Dave. Dave has informed me that his people, well, go ahead, Dave.
All our laborers are sent to certified flagger school, which is an 8-hour program through the certified excavator program. So they have quite a bit of training on that. So I think probably more than is needed for these events. So.
And I have spoke to Shane, and Shane said if you'd like additional training or require additional training, be more than happy to do that through your department. Is that correct, Shane?
Yep.
So with that out of the way, I am open for thoughts, questions. What do you guys think?
Well, you stole my thought. We had discussed that, and I think that's a good idea to continue to use the highway department personnel. Police have other responsibilities in the community, not to mention the fact is forbid there be an incident at an event, the police would have to respond to that incident. And therefore would leave that crossing guard duty potentially unmanned. So I think that's well advised, Chuck, and good thinking. And good job looking into that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. I think the rates are fair and in line with other communities, so all along, and this is a good step forward.
Well, I hadn't thought about what Joe just said about having, if there's a police officer from our jurisdiction or other that would have to be called away. Hadn't thought about that, so yeah, great point. But I have a question for Dave on that. If there is an incident, are your crossing people, do they have mobile phones or walkie-talkies or anything like that to communicate immediately with police or EMT?
Yes, every one of our employees has a personal cell phone that they let us use. So I don't see that as an issue.
Okay.
And I just want to thank whoever put this together. It's really great. It should help us to hold the costs for the arsenals down, which was the original intent of the fields. So we've been able to hold the rates for 10 years now, Ray. So this will continue to make
Yeah,
sure
so
that it's
sounds
affordable
good.
for this.
Yeah.
So to me, I think that's the best thing that I'm really happy to see. So
I would like to clarify one thing. I was not thinking it was necessarily the police themselves. I was thinking it was the crossing guards who we use for the school crossings and so on. That's what I was thinking. Now, Dave, Shane,
That's how it would have worked out.
Okay. It wouldn't have, unless I guess needed, it wouldn't have been an officer.
Okay.
Wouldn't have been the chief. It's not a chief duty.
No.
No.
Go ahead, Dave.
no, I just was going to say, but it also, if you couldn't have a crossing guard, you would have had to subsidize with a police officer like you have in other, right? So it could happen where the police would be there.
Most crossing guards or highway workers that don't do it regularly would get overwhelmed. The police officers would help clean it up.
I think we've been doing it with your guys for a long time. It's worked. They like doing it, works well for us. Yeah.
That's most of the events, the traffic's either non-existent or minimal on this.
The fields
I do
are,
have one question, though. It says 10% less for nonprofit and 10% less for town residents. Is that cumulative?
I was thinking, yes.
Okay. I think that makes sense.
Thoughts?
no, that's I think how it should be.
Chuck, did you want me to bring up the revenue on this? We talked about this afternoon.
Sure.
And I know I talked to Councilman, both Joe and Luke about this. I think the additional revenue would be great if we were able to keep that revenue in Knox Farm at the park and possibly have that money deposited into our regular proprietary parks fund so we can save for future equipment needs. Instead of in the past, we've had to take out bonds for large equipment needs. So to me, if the money's being brought in from Knox, I would hope we would keep that money in Knox to be spent. So I just want to suggest that. I'm not talking about the regular application fee. That to me, that's the same thing we've always done that goes through Chris. I'm talking about these extra fees. So then we can take that money and over a few years, save up for a lawnmower instead of having to take a loan out, So it's just my thought. And I know we could talk of that some other time, but Chuck, you agree with me. So, okay.
Chris, your thoughts? Okay. All right. Liz, do you have anything to add to that? No? Okay. We have just a few minutes before we can start the public hearing. Is there anything that anyone from the board would like to bring up and discuss for 5 minutes? Ray?
I did attend the food summit at the ROC back on Tuesday, and it was pretty informational. It was about 3 hours. Most of the attendees did go to, I think it's Pioneer Farm, Providence Farm, thank you, in Orchard Park. I wasn't able to attend that, but one of the good things that came out of it as far as I'm concerned is There was discussion about incorporating food insecurity or the means to prevent that in a community through your comprehensive plan. And there wasn't a lot of detail given at that point in time, but I reached out to one of the planners for Erie County and talked to her, and she is going to connect me with one of their consultants so that we can discuss this and see, you know, what ideas can we incorporate into the comprehensive plan to help foster that. I mean, there are things like internet access. I mean, so many things today, you access your information through your internet. So ensuring that security for all residents of your town. Food stamps, you know, making it easier for people who produce vegetables, eggs, things like that, to be able to sell those to their local community. So a lot of ideas like that just touched on. I don't have any specifics, but hopefully, you know, very shortly she'll be getting back in touch with me and then I can bring more detail to the board.
Great,
Okay.
great.
Thanks for
Thank
going
you,
to that.
Ray.
Yeah,
It looked interesting.
it was good. It was good.
Joe, you have the stage.
Whether I want it or not, huh? Well, I guess I'll mention, I don't see any of the folks from the neighborhood on 20A in transit, but you and I have been talking quite a bit. A number of issues were brought up at our previous public meeting concerning the proposed cell tower. And working diligently, we're working diligently. Liz has been doing a great job gathering information to address every concern that was brought up and follow it till its natural conclusion. So that's kind of been my main project right now is that the
And
cell
thank you
tower.
for being the point man for that, Joe. That's a,
Glad to do. It's very educational. There's a lot to be learned. So
Yeah. Luke, just for,
Yeah, the only thing I was, the community solar campaign is, we will be going, the page will be going live from Tuesday night to Wednesday morning. So again, if anyone wants to sign up, this is up to a 10% credit on your electricity bill and you'll be getting solar energy. I think the advertiser in the Bee will run an article about it this week, but basically we get 160 people to sign up in the town and the village to save on their energy bills, then we will get $35,000 back from NYSERDA and also qualify for that additional 60 or whatever it was. So that's going live and we got a lot of work to do to sort of publish that, but anyone who wants to sign up, look out for that page.
We just got 10, didn't we? Did we not?
We did, I announced that last time, so I didn't want to,
Oh.
yeah, but yes, we did get like I said, last time we got the first 10,000 back from NYSERDA as a grant. We have the application, we have 3 months and it's a tight deadline to fill that out. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting Joe to read his emails that quickly. I haven't actually opened it up. I don't know if you did.
I did. I was confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Maybe when I open up, I'll have a different reaction, but no.
Hopefully.
But so we'll have, I don't know, to think about how to do that and what the best way forward is. But it's there, we'll find a way to use it.
yeah, sure.
Now, Luke, I had talked to you before. What is the actual 3-month deadline? What is, and what is your target?
Yeah, I mean, the 3-month deadline is the deadline for the $10,000 in funding to be used
You know
for.
the date is, so I mean,
Oh, well, we got it today, so 3 months or today, yeah, so 3 months from today. And what I really don't have, to be honest, any idea what we want to do with it. I think it's up in the air and sky's the limit. Remember, we've got more coming after this if we stay on this program. So it's a good exercise for us to think about what sort of initiatives we want to be doing and for the department heads as well to think about things, you know, Dave, but we can maybe put our brains together and think of how we're going to be able to use this funding in a way will reduce our climate impact. That's pretty much everything qualifies that will do that. So.
and is it limited as far as the program that you're talking about through and getting the award through NYSERDA? Is it limited? Does it limit us to just trying to find Aurora residents, or is it maybe an idea to on the July 3rd party when there's 10,000 people here? See, we get people signed up.
It is limited to the town, but including the village. So hopefully by then we'll have we'll have a good number, but only town and village residents can sign up because the community has to participate. So.
Great. Thank you, Luke. 7:01.
All right.
So I will open the public hearing for, I'm sorry, yes, the public hearing for 775 Jewett Homewood Road at 7:01. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up, give us your name and address, and let us know your thoughts. Anyone? Okay. Then I will close that public hearing at 7:02. Next is a public hearing for the Sweet Road Campground. Again, I'll open that public hearing at 7:02. If anyone would like to address the board, please come up, speak into the mic, give us your name and address, and give us your thoughts.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I live directly west of.
Could I have your name and address,
Oh,
please?
I'm sorry. It's Neil Monroe. I sent letters to all of you today. I think you received the letters. I live at 892 Grover and 424 Sweet Road. We have about 25 acres. It borders the Curry property on the west side where the campground is going to be. So if anybody's going to complain about it, it'd be me, and I support it completely. The Currys are wonderful people. They are great residents, lived here all their lives, and are good neighbors, good friends, and they do a lot for the community. And I think by having the campgrounds here, it'll really help the borderline land opportunities to bring people downtown to eat at the restaurants and to, mix with the community. So I completely support it. And like I said, my property borders all of the camp area on the west side. So, do you have any questions?
No.
No.
No,
Okay, great.
we appreciate your input. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Anyone else?
It's a Tuesday.
Karen Curry, 988 Sweet Road. We're the ones petitioning to have the campground. I just wondered if there was any more questions or concerns, because I think we went over it all last time, but.
I have none.
I think it's nice to get it
Jim?
closer to town, because the last time, I think, the other campground was up at Golden Hills or somewhere out there, so maybe a little bit nicer to have it closer to town, so, as you said, they can utilize restaurants and things like that.
And
A
they
little
do,
easier.
yes, yeah, they do.
So,
Well, we really appreciate your considering that because it does mean a lot, and borderland is only growing larger all the time, and I feel that our area is safe area. There's no water hazards or anything like that, and we're 3.5 miles from borderland, and you can't get much better than that. And
Right.
we give people rides over there and so on, and so it's and they're just a good bunch, the people we've seen in the past, and now we'd like to just have it all above board, and we're applying for a KOA license. I don't think that would be no, that's it.
I think you need a.
You want to come back up, sir? Now they know about the KOA plan.
Okay, you can go sit down.
So, and we're so very proud of this town and where we live in our place, and we are very private people, so just to be able to do something like that just a little bit each year means a great deal, and we appreciate it.
Are you offering like campfire and music afterwards?
Yeah, people do have a hootenanny, I guess is what they used to call it or something back.
But you will have quiet times and
Quiet time starts
Just to
at
be
11
clear,
o'clock,
just to
yeah.
be clear.
I can see why you don't want them to talk.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful. People are wonderful, presuming we may have had them before. And it pretty much is over by 11 o'clock anyway.
Yeah.
People want to be up and added the next day to do that. So we're gonna comply with anything the county requires.
Thank
Certainly
you.
where the town requires, but it'll work,
Okay,
it'll work.
Thank you.
thank you, Karen. Thank you, Wilson.
All right, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Good to see you.
Anyone else like to address the board?
Last time I talked to you.
Hey.
Ashley Curry, 110 Maple Road. Uh, it's good to have crazy parents and to be from East Aurora. Mine supported me to be an exchange student once upon a time, and I think what they offer now for Borderland is an exchange experience in mass to really feed as many people the Kool-Aid of East Aurora as they possibly can, and that is a good thing for our town. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? I have received several. I have received several letters of support. They are from Paul Hoffman on Kelly Drive, Peggy Cook on Grover Road, Pete Kasperzak on Sweet Road, Susan Walks on Sweet Road, and Neil and Karen Monroe. So seeing no one else, I will close this public hearing at 7:07. Next on the agenda, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for the May 13th, 2024 work session and meeting?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is audience one, an opportunity to address the board on any items on this agenda. You step up to the mic, give us your name and address.
Hi, I'm Evan Roden, 2037 Grover Road. I wanted to make two comments. The first is about, or three comments. The first is about the cell tower. I'm very supportive. As someone who doesn't currently have cell service at their house, it would be very nice if I did. And especially when there's a power outage, there's no way for me to contact anyone because I don't have internet. So that would be very helpful if there was improved coverage. Second is on the community solar. I'd love if there were a direct mailing. I'd love if, to get something in the mail physically that would actually say what this is about, as opposed to, I've never read the bee before. I've always read the advertiser, so it would be nice to have it in, something in my mailbox. I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, as a part of the proposal submitted from the provider, they are obligated to send a mail to all residents
Perfect.
that we're gonna approve, obviously, but.
Yeah.
And then the third is a request to reconsider the intersection layout on the corner of Luther and Lower Grover. Too many yield signs. It's a three-way intersection, 2 yield signs and a stop sign. It doesn't make sense, and it's an accident waiting to happen. So.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Next on the agenda is unfinished business, and there is none. Hallelujah. Under new business, we have one item to add. Can I have a motion to add 5M, which is a payment to the assessment consultant? Can I have that motion?
So,
Motion by Jim, second.
so seconded.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Closures. Why hesitate?
Okay. First under new business is the paving of the library parking lot. Can I have a motion to approve paving the town of Aurora Library parking lot estimated at $9,062.50. Funds will come from line 1620.422. I'm sorry, 1620.422.
Do we need to send like a maximum for that or just like I said, to move to approve it up to $11,000.
We can do that. We can do that.
Is that okay, Dave, or? Okay, we don't have to then. Yeah, up, yeah, well, we can,
Really, like I said, it's, don't really. Should be accurate, but again.
well, I just don't want to
Well-
have you come back in here if it's up to a,
I mean, the price of asphalt goes up. Is the price gonna go up or is it a set fee?
No, it's fluctuates.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Why don't we just amend that motion?
but me. It's really great. But if you not put a cap on it. You could, but
I thought the motion was a cap at 9. Exactly.
No, the estimated price is $9,062.50. That's the
Right.
estimated price today. That could change.
that's
We,
what I'm trying to
we all
say
see that.
is see great fluctuations. I don't care, I'm just saying it's. That's,
Well, I mean, we could, I mean, in the end of it, if it went to $30,000, we could say, guess what? We're not gonna do it. You know,
well, you're
right?
you're not gonna know the date,
You would know
So it works, so it's,
end of August, right?
right, it's still, you don't know the tonnage exactly, you're laying it. It's not real flat,
Right.
if you want to, it's fine,
I just want to do it in the best way so we can get it done reasonably without having to come back here, but if we're approving the tonnage,
Shy estimate, so.
Yeah.
I'm always hesitant because you know, each month, like when I paid roads, like boys, we save $50,000 one day. It's just.
You were making it higher than the estimate though, weren't you, with your proposal, Luke? Higher than the.
yeah, I was gonna say 15,000 or
So
whatever.
he is making it higher.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, does that work with you? You don't think it's gonna be?
No, I
Yeah.
think it works, but you don't know your totals the day you do it.
No, but he's just putting a cap on it. So let's just amend this motion to say, motion to approve the paving of the town of Aurora Library parking lot estimated at $9,062.50, but not to go over 12,500.
Okay, do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not
Yeah,
good.
20%.
90% chance to be
Yeah.
accurate. But
Yeah.
leave a little fat.
Yeah.
That's all I was trying to do is to keep
Yes.
us, yeah.
12,500.
Yes.
I was at 15, but you drive a hard bargain, we'll do 12. Yeah,
Yes, they did.
Ben.
no, I was at 15.
All
yeah.
right, then, sorry.
Uh.
Things that-
At
We didn't argue
12.5,
with
so
him.
moved,
12,500.
so moved.
Okay. So
Put it in
moved.
the right spot.
So motion by Luke,
I'll say.
second by Jim. Any more comments or discussion?
None.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is the amendment to the organizational chart. Can I have a motion to amend the organizational chart to eliminate the work session on the agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
Second,
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And next on the agenda, can I have a motion to amend the organizational chart to start the meeting at 6:30?
so moved.
Motion by Joe. Second by Luke. Comments or discussion?
How is that gonna be advertised?
It will be in the advertiser and on the website.
And there's no, as far as I know, there's no need for a public notice or something along those lines because I mean, we do modify the meeting time from time to time and the date as well. So you think that's all we need, I think, right? I'm
Yeah.
just throwing it out. I don't think we need anything more.
I could Facebook it and
Code red.
I could code red it, not phone, but to email and text. I don't think it's a phone
You think-
type thing.
Is that a good use of code red?
That's the question. Do we want to overuse it or?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean,
I think Facebook is enough to,
Facebook, I think is
Yeah.
good. I
and
mean,
if somebody shows up at 7 and says, what the heck's going on here?
Sure.
We'll say, we moved the time, but here's what you missed.
We'll do a recap. Okay.
No, we'll play the YouTube.
Is that part of the, that's not part of the motion though, right? To do a recap.
Usually the people that do show up have the agenda emailed to them anyway, and any changes are highlighted.
Okay, that'll work. So I'll just Facebook it.
So would public hearings on a new law or something that requires a public hearing still be at 7 o'clock likely?
No, it'll be at 6:30.
So the public hearing would
Because
be at 6:30.
We're gonna be setting 2 tonight, so.
Okay,
And I'll reflect those I do code red and Facebook, and I will point out the time at 6:30 for those.
Okay. Any other comments or discussion?
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the guidelines and permits. Can I have a motion to adopt the Knox Farm State Park policy / fee schedule as written?
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. Comments or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is a public hearing. Can I have a motion to set a public hearing on the 10th day of June, 2024 at 6:30 PM at the Aurora Municipal Center on a proposed local law to rezone the property at 12 Glenwood Road, Post Office Box West Falls, Town of Aurora, New York, from a C2 commercial to an R3 residential.
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is another public hearing. Can I have a motion to set a public hearing on June 10th, 2024 at 6:30 PM at the Aurora Municipal Center regarding granting a Cablevision franchise agreement by and between the town of Aurora and Spectrum Northeast LLC?
So moved.
Motion by Jim. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the standard workday reporting. Can I have a motion to adopt the standard workday reporting resolution as posted?
So moved.
Motion by Luke. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is the agreement with Municipal Solutions. Can I have a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the contract between Municipal Solutions and the town of Aurora as written?
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion?
Just for clarification, this has to do with should we need to issue bonds or something? Is that the service that municipal solutions provides?
Bonds?
Yeah, so
Yes.
it's not something we use on a regular
Yes.
basis. Would they
Yeah.
retain them, so to speak,
Yeah.
in case we need to bond a
Yeah.
large purchase?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, we're good.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is a request from Chris. Chris is requesting to accept a donation of $100 from Pizza Delorios to go towards the bands for the July 3rd celebration. Donation will go in line A 2080.1. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Jim. Can I have a second?
Second,
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion?
thanks to Kathy and Bob. They're great members of our community.
Awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is another request from Chris. Can I have a motion to approve hiring the recreational staff, well, to the hiring of Madeline Vanderbrush from Tree Haven Drive at the hourly rate of $16.25 an hour?
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Another request from Chris. Can I have a motion to correct the pay rates of the below people due to a clerical error, Amelia Sexton, from a rate of $16.25 to a rate of $16.75, and Kathy Aries from $17.60 to $17.85.
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jim. Comments or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda is a resignation from the assessor's office. Can I have a motion to accept the resignation request from Kathleen Eckert from the assessor's office?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Comments or discussion? I just say that Kathy did a great job. She was very flexible with her duties and with her time, and we appreciate everything that she did. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And next on the agenda, can I have a motion to approve payment of property assessment consultants of Western New York in the amount of $29,700 for professional assessment services performed for the town for the Fisher Price property parcels? Payment will come out of line A1355.413 appraisals. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Luke. Comments or discussion?
Yeah, do we know what that assessment, why, what, the reason why the property was reassessed?
They challenged the assessment, and so
Right.
we needed to have a third party give us their assessment of the property. And that's where it's at right now. This has been going on for years. 4 years.
Okay,
Fisher Price is engaged with like a third-party vendor
right.
that works on a commission basis to challenge their assessment. So as part of our case to defend our assessment of that property, we hired this firm to provide legal,
Provide
not
their
legal,
assessment.
to provide assessments.
their
Yeah, to provide their
Professional
assessment.
assessment.
Yeah,
To it,
professional assessment,
An
yeah.
independent assessment to be submitted to court.
to the courts. Okay. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Motion carried.
That makes no sense.
Next, under communication and reports, we have a report from the library director, Paula Glosek, on, among other things, substantial growth in the library. And we also have a letter of thanks from the Open Space Committee to our Highway Department and to the Ormsby Educational Center for the work being done at the kiosk at Majors Park.
It's good.
Business from the board members, and we'll start with Councilman McCann.
So I had already given the update, but since then, and I had indicated I was confused looking at your email, there's been updates. No, it's great, actually. So there's $10,000 when you open the email that Luke sent and click on the correct links. There are already made applications for use of that $10,000, including installation of solar, purchase of an EV, the non-road EVs. I don't know what that is. But then there's ones for the highway department where you can replace your gas powered equipment with electric battery powered equipment if you so choose. So it's actually all the grant applications are already made. They're just filling the blank. So we just have to decide how we want to spend that $10,000 in the next 3 months. But there's more LED streetlight upgrading. I don't know if we're all done with those, but we'll have to look through this list. There's about
we are.
a dozen different things. Yeah. But I'm sure we'll find something. We could add a charging
Sure we
station.
will.
So it's good. It's not going to be a burden to spend this $10,000. And that's what I have.
Thank you, Joe. Councilman Waschinsky?
I don't have an update from before I was paying attention to the meeting, so I just wasn't able to get anything done in that time in parallel, but.
Wow, you just got that small brain.
Anything else you'd like to add? Luke?
No, I don't, I mean, no, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Councilman Razin?
No, no updates, no changes. I'm good. Thank you.
Councilman Granville?
I am able to multitask. I'm chewing gum right now. So. Two things. Even though I live in the village of East Aurora, and I love the village of East Aurora, you know, I have a soft spot for the hamlet of West Falls, which I think is a hamlet, right? It's not a separate town. Okay. So the hamlet of West Falls had a memorial procession, which they do every year. They've done it for years. I've been a part of it for many, many years. You know, the good Lord shined down and it did not rain during that 2.5, 3 block procession that we have, which was very well attended. But John Farrell, who's been, you know, living in West Falls for quite some time, he's been involved with the fire company for quite some time, talked about his service in Vietnam. And it was beautiful. It really was. He talked about the 3 young men who gave their lives, one of them for him, dove in front of a bullet for him. And it really was a beautiful thing. To segue to another little soft spot in my heart is the West Falls Center for the Arts this Friday. They're throwing with Western New York vets a benefit for veterans. And there's 2 bands playing. There's Flashback and there's also the Kensingtons, which have been playing, you know, Western New York for quite some time. Both those bands have agreed to play for free. So it's basically any money that comes in, half of it is going to go to the West Falls Center for the Arts Veterans Program specifically. And the other is a brand new project called the East Buffalo Project. And the idea of why we're merging sort of a rural community veterans and East Buffalo veterans is that I think, you know, every veteran has their own unique problems, but I think there's some commonality with veterans who maybe are feeling alone, who maybe live out in the rural area. And then there's East Buffalo veterans who, not the stereotype, but may have a food insecurity or housing insecurity issues. And so about a year and a half ago, 15 months ago, we decided to do this project. And it's been a year long, and we've had some help with the city of Buffalo and the county, but it's culminating right now into this benefit. So I'd encourage anyone who can come out there to do it. Every single penny is going. There's all volunteers. We have some National Guardsmen who are helping man some of the stations. We have attorneys and judges and veterans who are going to be performing music for it. And it's really going to be a special event. And when I say culminating, it's culminating in that we're going to be able to distribute the funds where we want to, but I think it's something that's going to continue to grow. And whether the venue is West Falls or Sportsman's or somewhere, you know, Colored Musicians Club, I think it's something that's going to keep going. So I'm excited. This is the first year, and I'm very excited about it.
That's great, Joe. That's great. What time does that start?
Doors open at 6. We're going to have, so pre-COVID, we had a youth, either orchestra, band, somebody, a singer, a vocalist, youth, open for every single show. And then once COVID hit, we just didn't feel comfortable having youth there anymore. We restarted it about a year ago and it's been a slow growth, so we are gonna have someone started singing at about 7 to 7:15. First professional band will go on at 7:30, play for about 45 minutes. Sure, we'll throw in a 50-50 to raise some more money.
Sure.
And then the second band, so a lot of fun, a lot of stuff, and everybody can be home by 10 o'clock.
That's good too.
Because our average age is veteran.
So you said that's this Friday?
It's this Friday, the 31st, yeah.
Okay, tickets at the door?
So you can go online, or you can get tickets at the door either way. They're not, we don't raise the prices at the door, so you can get them. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you, Jim.
All right, thank you.
And I'd like to mention that last Monday, 1 week ago, tonight, we had the first work session open house up at the Waldorf School for the Western New York Forward, where many people presented their projects, or at least at this point of the game, their projects of what is going to happen for this. It was a very well attended event and very well put on too, very professional. One of the neatest things they had was they had easels around the room with the projects on it, but on the one side they had just questions, and one of them was, what makes Westfall special? And then they had a little table there with some sticky notes, and you would write whatever you wanted to write on that sticky note, and it was plastered. It was just a great evening all the way around. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is Mayor Mercurio and myself had the honor of placing the wreath yesterday at the monument. This was underneath the tent. It didn't rain, but they had the tent there anyway, so we used it. But Mayor Mercurio and I had the honor of placing the wreath at the monument in honor of all of those who did not come home. Next is audience 2, an opportunity to address the board on any subject they would like. If you would like, come forward. Give us your name and address and.
All right, Evan Roden, 2037 Grover Road.
Yep.
This is going off of what Ray mentioned earlier about broadband access. It would be very nice, speaking as someone who lives in West Falls, to have more than one internet provider. Competition's good. It brings down prices. Right now, we're paying about double what other municipalities tend to pay on a per household basis for internet, and it's less reliable. And so considering other municipalities like Eden and Alden have figured out how to get ErieNet, for example, into their communities. It'd be great if y'all could figure that out too, so we could have at least one other option, even if it's provided by the town, as an alternative to pay for, to hopefully bring down prices and provide some competition. And the second thing is, I'd really like a way to get into the village from where I live. If I ride my bike, it's basically impossible. I either have to take Center or Mill. Those are the only two ways into the village from West Falls. And it's pretty dangerous. A lot of blind hills. I know there are some bike paths around there, but I'd love if the town could explore some opportunities for ways to get between the village and the village of East Aurora and the hamlet of West Falls more safely.
Evan, before you go, I know we don't normally comment at this point. We just let the people comment, but your dad certainly was a terrific person, and I know he was a biker. But not to single out Luke, but I know Luke's been talking about it for quite some time, and Joe, I'm sure Ray and Chuck as well, is we do have we're trying to get a master plan together, and part of the discussion for years has been how to get bike access from one part of town to the other. So when we are talking about a master plan and we're putting things together, we're going to have consultants come in, and we're going to have meetings. I think it'd be important for whoever's interested in that and other ways to improve the town to be involved in it as well. I don't know if you're still in Louisiana going to school, or if you graduated.
I'm back.
Okay.
Working at Odoo downtown.
So I'm throwing it out to everybody, but I'm throwing it out to you specifically because I think that was one of the things we were trying to figure out, is how to get an easy way to go essentially from the village to West Falls, but really to be able to traverse the town safely. So I'm just throwing that out there.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Keep your eyes open.
Hey, Evan, and on that, I did hear from the county at the event at West Falls, actually, that ErieNet will be running a trunk line out to West Falls. So look at that. You made it happen.
I just saw that.
Oh, did you really?
Anyone else?
Joe did that in the time that Evan said that.
I got skills.
We'll move on to staff reports. And let's start with Rod. Anything to add? Paul? Doug didn't make it. Chris?
Schools is Saturday, so I have all lifeguards out there. Great thanks to Mike and the vendor who's been spearheading the opening and cleaning out the pool. Weekend after that, I've got staff training. I'm running for the day camp counselors and Dave, come here.
Great. Thanks, Chris. Shane?
Just one thing, we were awarded about a $45,000 grant from the state Department of Criminal Justice Services to buy a global solar powered pole camera that telescopes up either problem areas or large events. We'll be able to have this trailer to have remote access to the camera and have eyes on it, whether a dispatcher or some other location.
Cool.
So that's pretty exciting.
Cool. Interesting.
Very cool.
Great. Thank you, Shane. Dave?
I was just thinking how that would work great in the highway department. Yeah, Joe, I just want to mention, thank you for talking about the electrical stuff. I'm really interested in that. This year we have completed complete electrification of all our power tools now. In fact, Jason just got a brand new push mower, so we have all electric weed whackers. And so it's really a great opportunity if you could get some more of that.
Yeah, there's more of that and non-road EVs. I was also reading.
Yeah, and I
so
think-
if you need like a golf cart or something, there's a lot of stuff on here.
Yeah, I think our goal is to continue to do that. We found, there's always the pros and the cons, but I just take it from the workers. They prefer it. There's less fatigue for them. It's a lot lighter. Ear protection. Yeah. I mean, nobody wants the gas motors anymore, at least at the highway department. There's no maintenance. So I know there's a lot of pros and cons that you hear out there, but as far as our highway department, we're totally moving forward with that. And also too, Luke, I don't know if you're aware if it helps with the Climate Smart program that we started now for 3 years. We've been using a warm mix additive that is eliminates all the fumes into the environment for all our blacktop. I don't know if you've been following that or not, but if that's something that could help you to put in there, just want to make sure you knew about it.
Offhand, I don't know, but it's a good idea. We can take a look at it. And I should add that the final actually priority action that we submitted for this 10,000 is thanks to Elizabeth DeViso.
Right.
And Claudia Newton on the Climate Smart Committee, who are working together to do our fleet inventory that they even did the sort of weed whackers and everything. So on our Climate Smart Community Task Force webpage, that information is available with all the equipment and what we have in house. So thank you to Liz for that.
Yeah, like I said, we're moving forward with that. Just a couple things. Martha's offered to help our crew the next few days to get all the landscaping going here and clean it up really good. I believe the knotweed has been eradicated, or else we're watching for it. Oh, you found evidence again? All right. Well, we'll keep hitting it. So I know the gardens look a little bit gross out there, but the next few days, I think Martha, you bought a bunch of flowers to make it look better. So.
Well, thank you to you both.
Yeah. Also, just in case anybody's interested, I met with Union Concrete today for a pre-construction meeting of the West Falls project, which I'm just working with them on, and they took me around. They are starting Monday, June 10th on that project, and the first spot will be right about in front of the fire hall. The culvert there will be the first one. So pretty much culverts are going to start right away. Some up by Bob's Deli, the one that we've had problems with a few years ago. But they are planning on having the whole fell depth done this year. So, in fact, they're ambitious to even maybe get to Old Glenwood and reconfigure that by fall. But again, it depends on how the season goes. So there's going to be a lot of activity over there coming in a few weeks.
Hey, David, if you know, when we were at the procession on Monday, there was a lot of talk about the lines on the sidewalk and then going through town. Do you know what those is?
Yeah, that's just survey. In fact, they got to put GPS poles up throughout the thing. It's just kind of laying out the project so that the equipment can, so it is for the tear out. That would be the boundary of the new road, I believe.
Because the new road goes across sidewalks and into, it is pretty wide.
I could check on you. I saw some. I didn't pay attention too much, but I know most of that is just layout so the equipment operators know what lines to follow. So you're probably going to see an awful lot of paint marks.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it because some looked like it looked like it was maybe right away, but it was pass right away on some sides and into.
I'll definitely look into it. I didn't today.
I'll send you an email and
Yeah.
if you find something out.
And
just let me
if
know.
anybody wants, I do have the flash drive for the whole plan if you need to borrow it and you want to really look through it from the technical standpoint. So we do have that. at the highway
Thank you.
department.
Yeah, I would.
I will
Appreciate that.
definitely let you know, because I know it's going to impact the event center quite right away. It's
Right.
kind of right there is where they're starting. So
Yeah, and we're doing paving over there as well, so maybe
Yeah.
we want to be able to coordinate it with New York.
sure.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
they're a good contractor though. I think we'll have a lot of good things going on. I know Chuck's working on the New York Forward portion on Friday.
Yeah.
And I already talked to them about what you're bringing up to the state, as far as some change orders possibly with the lights and things. So
Yeah.
they were real positive to help if it comes to that. So but anyway, besides that, I think we've resurfaced already this year about a third of all our roads between oil and chip and pavement. So we've been really busy. Please be patient. We got a lot of cleanup still to do. We missed a road. We'll get there tomorrow. But really went really well. I think you guys heard around town. In fact, actually a few of your board members had done. So I hope.
Yeah,
we're-
when the cleanup went around,
Yeah.
it looks great.
Yeah, we've been real busy. We do have some tree work on Glen Ridge next week scheduled. I know you know about that, but we're kind of really crazy though about 4th of July here. So but we're doing it. So, all right. Thanks.
Great.
Thanks. Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Liz? Nothing tonight. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the abstract?
So moved.
Motion by Jim. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray.
Ray.
Comments or discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.